Welcome to Live Cold Calling with Cody every single Tuesday at 2 o'clock Central Standard Time. That's noon on the West Coast. That's 3 o'clock on the East Coast. That's 1 o'clock if you're in the mountains, and here in the Midwest, man, it is 2 o'clock Central Standard Time every single Tuesday. I'm excited to talk today about how I made $117K from cold calling. Most agents fail. They struggle. They don't know what to do or when to do it or how often to do it. Dude, I took the hard route. I didn't know what I was doing when I started this business. Fortunately, I grew up in the business. As you guys can see right here, $117,391.13. And I only worked for 8 months my first year because I was in college playing basketball. You guys, anybody can do this. The thing is, it all comes down to a system. It comes down to being obsessed with getting in front of people. It comes down to wanting to be great. It comes down to wanting to surround yourself with other successful people. Dude, when I first got into business, I struggled. I didn't know what to do. Fortunately, I had a mentor in my father because I've been exposed to the business my entire life. Fortunately, I had people like him in my life that I could go to say, hey, what do I need to be doing? How can I improve? How should I be better? Fortunately, I listened to Brian Tracy's The Art of Closing the Sale every single day, all day, because I heard someone say, hey, turn your car into a mobile sales university. So I learned, and I turned my car into a college campus on sales. Everywhere I went, I was listening to Zig Ziglar, Brian Tracy, Grant Cardone, all these other people about how to improve my game as a salesperson. But the biggest reason I was able to earn $117K from cold calling is because I was committed. And unfortunately at that time, I didn't realize that good quality leads actually existed. But at the time, maybe I tried some leads here and there, but because my skill level wasn't where it needed to be, or I didn't know how to approach leads, or I thought every lead was a buyer, I didn't realize that every lead just had some level of interest. I quickly learned that, hey, if I'm going to do it, I got to do it right. So today we're going to talk about how I made $117K live from cold calling. Worked for 8 months. I'm talking my very first year in college playing basketball, 19 years old, student athlete, taking 21 credit hours a semester. But I was still able to make $117K my very first year. And we're going to go through the numbers of exactly how I did that. Now, is cold calling the easiest way to make $100K? Not even close. But are you sitting there on your couch or at your desk or driving in your car watching this right now thinking, hey, dude, I'm struggling. I don't know what to do. I don't have any money. I want to create some wealth. I want to be a success. I want to be financially free. I want to be one of the best insurance agents in your company. Then today, I'm going to show you how without any money you can do what I was able to do simply by outworking everyone else in your office. Successful people do what unsuccessful people are unwilling to do. I was that guy that did that tough stuff that no one else in my office wanted to do, and I was able to get creative. So the story is, back at 19 years old, in college playing basketball, I knew I didn't have a lot of time. And so one of the things that I needed to do was I had the creative idea, hey, because I didn't even know anything about cold calling or scripts. I didn't know anything. I just knew that I needed to get in front of a lot of people, but because I was in college playing basketball, I didn't have a lot of time. So I said, hey, how do I get in front of 10 people every single week? Because I'd ask other successful people, I'd ask my father, I'd listen to audiobooks, I had broken down the numbers. I've got to ask 10 people to buy because my insurance knowledge is subpar. My sales knowledge is, dude, at the time it sucked. The one thing I had going for me is that I was a likable individual, that I was great at building a relationship with a prospect, and I was enthusiastic. I had read the book, How I Raised Myself from Failure to Success in Selling by Frank Bedker, and I knew that my enthusiasm would get me there if I brought enthusiasm to every conversation that I ever had. And so today we're going to talk about it. If you're joining, man, please share this out. What's up, Lakita on YouTube? Hope you guys are doing well. Appreciate you guys joining. Sly, Dylan, Brian, Patty, Danny, Kim. What I want you to do is, if you're on Facebook, I want you to share this stream out. If you're on YouTube, but you guys know I love thumbs up or thumbs down if I say something that you don't like. I don't care. But be sure to comment and ask questions along the way. Because today, the story is, though, I'm 19, I'm in college. I'm trying to figure out how do I get in front of a lot of people in a short amount of time. I'm going to class every day till noon or 1. I've got basketball practice in the afternoon. I've got games some evenings, every weekend, tournaments. I'm traveling to Colorado, Texas, Arkansas, Iowa, Illinois, but I knew that I was committed. So because the first step for me is, hey, have a goal. And I set a goal, and my goal was to make $100,000. But I knew if the goal is $100K, if I knew that the goal was $100K, then I soon learned that, hey, if I see 10 people, I don't care whether I'm doing it from cold calling or whether I'm doing it from cold door knocking. I don't care if I'm doing it from a warm market. It doesn't matter. I knew that if I consistently saw 10 people every single week, I would be a success. I would make $100K. I had run the numbers. I'm a numbers freak. I spent 2 hours last night and another couple hours this morning with our whole marketing team on how to get 2,000 agents to this conference. Because at the end of the day, dude, we're going to teach them all about learning the mindset, the mission, and the moves to produce $1 million and how to create generational wealth in this business for their family. I'm a numbers freak. We went through the numbers like crazy of everything. Everything we do is a numbers game, and I want to turn the numbers on its head, which is exactly what I did here. When I was able to make $117K, I just showed you the 1099. For those of you that didn't believe me, the goal was to make $100K. I knew I had to see 10 people every single week. So how do you do that? How do you get to where you see 10 people every single week from cold calling? You say, Cody, I don't want to cold call. That's okay. You're still going to learn something. You say, Cody, cold calling is tough. Dude, what's up, Patricia? Dude, cold calling. What's up, Joshua on YouTube? Cold calling is difficult. Cold calling is not easy. But if you want to be successful, you will do whatever it takes, no matter how hard it is. If you're committed, then it does not matter. As you can see, the 1099 again for a little more proof. Dude, did it happen? You tell me. All right, let's jump into the numbers. So what I did is I would have these call nights, and I would bring over college kids from my local university. We would spend time calling. We would do call nights. We would spend at least 2 to 3 hours every single Monday night, from about 6 till at least 8, sometimes 9 o'clock, 2 to 3 hours. And I would bring over college kids. I would put them in a cubicle. I would give them a script. I would give them a list, which you can get a cold calling list from Cole X Dates. That's a partner of ours with the conference. I gave them, what else did I give them? I gave them a chair, a script, a list. I gave them pizza. I ordered pizza for all of them. I passed out gift cards. I gave them so much per appointment. I made sure that whoever won, I gave them extra cash. So I created this cold calling extravaganza where I'd have 3, 4, 5 college kids cold calling with me, and I'd run around motivating them, getting them excited. And did a lot of appointments stand us up? Sure. But I got in front of people, and I made sales, and I got really good at turning someone that didn't even know how to spell my name or say my name to, hey, thanks for your business, welcome to the family. So today I'm going to talk about how I was able to use cold calling and these call nights and leverage that to make $117K in 8 months, and how you can too using this exact same thing. So one of the cool things was I learned by doing this that we were setting one appointment for every 33 calls. Because we had sheets of 33 names on each page, and we would print them in landscape, and then we would print off. I would give every person at least 2, 3, 4 sheets for them to cold call and for them to use a script and say, hey, my name's John. I'm calling from Cody's office. Hey, and then I would go through the script, right? I would go through the lead script. I would go through the cold calling script. Well, I was learning that, hey, we would get an appointment from about every 33 cold calls. Now, did every appointment, stick? Was every appointment phenomenal? Did we sell everybody we saw? No, that's part of it. Go drive the hour. Even if you don't know if they're going to be there, who cares? I was booking up my afternoons, my evenings, and my weekends. So you say, well, okay, if I can set one appointment for every 33 cold calls, whether you do them yourself or you farm it out like I did with a call night, it's creative, it's creativity. I soon learned that, hey, I've got to set at least 15 appointments. I've got to have 15 set appointments. To have 15 set appointments, it was going to take about 495 calls. Sometimes better, sometimes worse. When you get 5 people, 6 people with me, whatever, calling, it don't take long to go through 40 calls an hour, 50 calls an hour, 30 calls an hour. Everybody's different. I quickly learned that whether I did it or someone else did it, you say, well, Cody, 500 is a lot. Dude, break it up into 3 nights. Call on Sundays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays. Call Sunday for Monday and Tuesday, Tuesday for Wednesday and Thursday for Friday and Saturday. Who cares? Anybody can call for 3 to 4 hours a day, or you can get creative and have call nights like I did. And I was able to get 15 set appointments for every 495 cold calls. You say, Cody, dude, what about the DNC? 90% of people are on the DNC. True. So work a couple counties. Who cares? Start from 50, go to 85. A lot of people will come up with problems when they could come up with solutions of how to be successful. 92% of insurance agents fail in this business because they're not creative and they won't do whatever it takes. You say, hey, Cody, I'll do whatever it takes to make 100 grand. 100 grand would change my life forever. But you won't make 500 cold calls every week. You won't even make 50 cold calls every week. But you think that you want to create all this wealth and financial freedom and help all these people and make it so that you're driving a nice car and a 3,000 square foot house and your kids are able to go to college, whatever it is, but you won't do whatever it takes. People say, people email in, call in, message in all the time. Say, hey, Cody, I want to make 100K and I'll do whatever it takes. I'm showing you whatever it takes right now. Let's take it a step further, though, because 15 set appointments, you'll generally get at least 10 sits. About 2/3 will actually stick. You say, Cody, 60%, 66%, dude, that's low, man. Yeah, it's going to be low. They're cold. They're not leads. It's a cold call. If you set it out more than 2 days, they're going to forget you ever said it to begin with. Because what's true about a cold call is they're going to forget unless you make them write down your name and the time, everything else is gone. Like everything else is in one ear, out the other. They're going to forget what you're planning on doing, what you're going to talk about, why you're coming, that you were going to just drop something off instead of stay for an hour. They're going to forget all of it. So 15 appointments equals 10 sits. I quickly learned that if I sit with 10 people, even if my closing ratio sucks, even if I've got a 30% closing ratio, that, hey, I'm going to sell 3 homes. We'll put it that way. But you say, well, you know what? About a third of the homes are going to be double apps. Okay. Well, if a third of the homes are 2 apps, then you instantly end up with 4 apps per week. Over 50 weeks, that's 200 apps. 200 policies a year from cold calling. Is it possible? I can walk out here with you guys and do it in my sleep. And I know that you guys average at least $500 per sale. 200 times 500 is what? 100K. Don't tell me I don't have phenomenal handwriting either. Everybody can just read that perfectly. So I'm going to go through that again. Figure out your numbers. You say, Cody, it takes me 50 cold calls to set an appointment. Dude, then call 50 times 50 and call 750 cold calls a week. Just do whatever it takes. Get to 15 set appointments. End up with 10 sits. Say your closing rate sucks. And you may say, Cody, that's horrible. It's still a cold call. It's a cold knock. Your closing ratio is going to be higher with leads versus cold calling. It always will, because those people showed interest. These people didn't. You're trying to create interest. Say you end up selling 3. Say a third of those, 1 out of every 3 ends up writing, the husband and the wife. Then you're at 4 apps a week, 200 apps a year. Say, Cody, you may say, Cody, well, $500 a sell maybe that's low. Okay. Well, I want to talk to anybody, whether they're independent or captive, or you're on a 50% commission rate. I don't even care. I want to give you, because you could say, well, Cody, I average $70 a month of premium, but I'm only on a 50% comp rate. Okay. That's $840 a year. 50% is $420. Even captive shops will at least give like a bonus on whatever that commission rate is. Worst case scenario, because you're gonna generate. Dude, I've randomly cold called and sold $400 and $500 apps. So the average will average out. Worst case scenario, you should be averaging $500 a sale. I don't care what situation you're in, what you're doing. And some of these individuals would make $1,000 just because they make a higher commission level. Maybe they've been in business longer. Maybe they produce more, or whatever. So maybe those people will average. Maybe those people can make $200K from cold calling. You say, well, Cody, cold calling is difficult, man. Cold calling is dead. Dude, I've sat here, and we used to do this from dialing a telephone by hand. I didn't even use a dialer back then because I didn't even know how to spell dialer. It was 8 years ago. I didn't know what I was doing. I just knew, hey, I've got a goal to make $100,000 this year, and I will do whatever it takes. And when I say I'll do whatever it takes, I don't just say it to make myself feel good. I actually do whatever it takes. When I say, hey, I'll get well over 1,000 people at a conference at Nissan Stadium because I want to help agents do the things that I was able to do. I want to teach thousands and hundreds of thousands of people in the insurance business the things that I know, the things that I was able to learn at an early age, and the things that I can help them do exactly what I've been able to do. I mean it. You guys don't doubt it for a second that there won't be over 1,000 people at Nissan Stadium, because everything I do, I break down the numbers of how it's going to happen. So maybe you have to spend more money. Go get a line of credit. Who cares? Because at the end of the day, I'll do whatever it takes. I don't care if it takes spending 50 grand a month on ads. It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, 92% of people fail, but I'm showing you a 100% proof system of how to make $100,000 from cold calling. The toughest way to succeed in this business is what? Do this from cold calling, without using leads, without working your warm market. But I'm walking through it with you, live on camera, of how to be able to do exactly what I was able to do. I was really, really fortunate to get exposure to this business. And did I know a little bit more than some new people that come in this business? Sure, maybe I did. But I know that when I learned, hey, you've got to call through 33 cold calls to set an appointment, or you've got to talk to 10 people to set an appointment, I quickly learned. You mean that's all I got to do? I just got to talk to 10 people and I'm going to set an appointment? So I just have to talk to like 150 people? Done. I'll talk to 150 people every week for the rest of my life if that's what it takes. Because I was committed to winning. No matter what. When I told my dad, what's funny is my dad believed in me more than I did. He came to me and said, hey, the top trip in this, the top producers in this industry, top producers with this company they're winning the Chairman's Council trip. They're going on a 7-day trip with the top 1% of agents in the entire company, and I think you can do it. And I'm like, I don't want to let my dad down. Like that's a lofty goal. That's nuts, man. I don't know if there was very few. I would say 1/100th of 1% of new agents actually hit that goal that we're talking about with that company at an extremely low captive comp rate. But what's cool about what he did is my dad got me believing in myself and thinking bigger when I didn't think I can. You know that thing I put on Facebook on, when did I put that on? Sunday? Do it because you don't think you can. That's the only reason I did it. So what I did is, because I'm committed, because I said I'm making 100K, I wrote it down. I wrote down a letter that said, hey, I, Cody Askins, will make $100,000 plus this year. And I put the year, I signed it, I put the date, I had other people sign it, had them sign it and date it, and then I put it up on my wall right in front of me. If that ain't commitment, if that ain't being serious, if that isn't freaking committed, then I don't know what is. And there was people in my office that wanted to commit me to a psych ward because I was freaking nuts. Because they'd been there 20 years and they'd never done it. Dude, I don't want to do what other people have done that have been there for 20 years. I want to do what they were unable to do ever. And I want the same for you. So that's why I'm committed to coming on here literally almost every day, focused on helping insurance agents succeed at a ridiculous high level, because I know you can. At the end of the day, what everyone wants is wealth. It's money. It's financial freedom. It's being able to take care of their family. It's success. This may be the hardest way in the business to do it, but this is simply my story and what I did. You may say, thank you, Tony. You may say, dude, Tony's going to be at 8% Nation, the Insurance Wealth Conference. You may say, dude, I don't want a cold call. Then don't cold call. Just figure out the numbers of something else and then do that. This is simply what I did. You do whatever you want. We'll make it easy and give you leads of people that have some level of interest and that I can sell a lot higher than, one appointment every 33 calls. You can flip it on its head and make 15 appointments out of 30 calls by using leads. But this is what I did my first year, and this is my story. Some people don't know that I was even a successful agent. They think, dude, he's just this crazy dude that runs around on video and does marketing and does leads and training and coaching sessions and has 800 plus videos on YouTube. I love this business, and I want to see you succeed as well, which is why not only do I come on video and say, hey, do this, you'll make $100,000. And if you do this and you follow it to a T and you don't make $100K, I will come to you and fix whatever problem you're having, because this will make you $100,000 in the next 12 months. It's the toughest way in the world to succeed. But I didn't know any better when I was 19, no sales experience, no insurance experience. I was a struggling agent for the first few months. I didn't jump out of the gate and immediately start seeing 10 people every single week. It took some time, man. It took, I'm still a work in progress, as are you. I've been in this business 8 years, and I absolutely love it. This business is the only business in the world that can create the kind of wealth that I want. There are more millionaires. Let me say it again. There are more millionaires in the insurance and financial services industry than any other industry in the world. Let me show you something real quick. Something I've been putting together for you, because at the end of the day, this wealth conference is all about teaching you the mindset that you got to have, the mission that you've got to adopt, and the moves that you got to make to produce millions of dollars for the rest of your life. Check this out. I'll be right back after this. Welcome back. How about that? Was that quick or was that quick? Dude, we are assembling. The bell's going off in the other room. We've got a bell here every time we make a lead sell or a ticket sell. We have like a gong or a bell that they hit. Dude, have fun with it. Today was all about how I made $117,000 in 8 months at 19 years old from cold calling, and how you can too, simply by doing this. It's tough. It's crazy, and there's going to be weeks. There's going to be, dude, you're almost going to want to quit on this every week. I was so mentally tough. I became mentally tough because I wanted to quit on this little deal every week all year. But every time I walked in my office and I saw that letter hanging on the wall where I promised myself and other people that I wasn't going to let down, that, hey, I'm going to make $100,000 this year, that reminded me, hey, you got something special here. You get a chance to do something great. You get a chance to get off to a fast start. You get a chance to create wealth for the rest of your life. I mean, people get in this business for the long-term, recurring, stable revenue that this can create. This business can create hundreds of thousands of dollars a month of recurring revenue if you know how to do it properly. Most people don't. The Wealth Con is going to teach you the mindset, the mission, and the moves to produce millions of dollars of recurring revenue every single year and teach you how to be a top 8% money earner in the insurance industry and create success forever. I'm excited about that little deal. I'm more excited about that than anything I've ever done. All right, any questions about this? Any questions about how? Thank you, Simon. Thank you, Joshua. Thank you, Lakita. Thank you, Craig, Derek, Rance, Dave, Tony. Appreciate the comment. Any other questions or comments about how I made $117,000, over $100K from cold calling every single week? I had call nights. I would bring over college kids. I would give them pizza. I would pass out gift cards randomly. Hey, the next person to set an appointment gets a Subway gift card, or the next person to set an appointment gets an iTunes gift card. Or, hey, whoever gets the most gets an extra $20 bill at the end of the night. And I'd pay them $10 for the first appointment, $10 for the second appointment, and then $20 for the third appointment, and then $20 for every appointment after. And that's how I structured it. Yeah, I had to pay out a little bit of money, but it wasn't, I mean, shoot, I was making a couple grand a week. It didn't matter. What other questions you guys have? Any other questions before we wrap this thing up? We've been going about 30 minutes. This is how I was able to make $100,000 at an early age. This is just this is a teaser for what you're going to learn at the Wealth Con. Anyone that wants to create long-term wealth for themselves and for their family will be at the 8% Nation Insurance Wealth Conference. We've assembled some of the top speakers in the world: Grant Cardone, Ray Lewis, Tim Story, Coach Michael Burt, Charlie Chena, myself, Vince Pompanato, who's going to talk about telesales and insurance telesales and how to teach you how to sell over the phone, and how he has a $20 million brand that sells over the phone every single day. Ryan Palomini is going to teach you how to be an advisor of wealth and help people make big decisions and buy big policies and put big money in your pocket. And then we got Tyler Rees, who is attracting a ton of agents, helping a lot of people from a life insurance, mortgage protection, final expense standpoint. That dude cares about people, and you're going to learn why he is one of the most successful people in this industry. Along with several more, man. We've got the SMS, the Medicare Cafe team, teaching you how to prospect for Medicare, how to sell Medicare, how to find Medicare prospects, and when you find them, how to close them. They're going to give you a complete education from stage on Medicare. We got a lot of awesome speakers. We got Chuck McDowell from Wesley Financial Group. He's built a multi-million-dollar timeshare reversal business. He partners with insurance agents to help your clients. He's going to be an absolute beast at this conference. Any other thoughts, guys? Anything else you want to cover? Any questions from you guys? Anything else from the studio audience here? 8%.com. Go to 8%nation.com to grab your seat. I can promise you one thing. If you want to change your life, you'll want to be there. Call in. Make sure you grab a ticket, 833-40-AGENT, 833-40-AGENT. Thanks for watching this. It was all about how I made $100,000 my first year from cold calling, and how you can too. It's difficult, but dude, I'm ready to teach you guys some stuff at 8% Nation live from stage at Nissan Stadium. We're going to solve problems. Between now and then, I want you guys to think about something. What are 3 problems that are happening in your business right now that if you could fix those, you'd instantly make $100K, or you'd instantly make $500,000, or you'd instantly make $10 million? What's those 3 problems that you're having? I want to know those. I want you to personally message me and say, hey, I'm having these 3 problems. Can you fix those, and can you solve those? And I'm going to solve them, and we're going to solve them at the Wealth Con. All right, Thanks for watching Live Insurance Cold Calling with Cody every single Tuesday at 2. Tomorrow is Deal Breakers with Dave and I at Wednesday at 2. And we'll see you there. Thanks for watching. Have an awesome week.